We'd had a pretty busy day. It was quite a nice day on the beach, and we'd had a couple of rescues to do, and so we're standing around in the clubhouse here, just debriefing the day, talking about what was going on. And one of the lifesavers, Pat, noticed that there were some people in trouble down on the beach, and when we had a look, we could see that there were 3 people caught in the rip, and we'd already packed our ARB away, and so the quickest way to get to them was to grab some rescue boards and run down there.
Mum was on patrol, so me and Dad came up here to get her, and then we just came in, they're all chatting about something, so we just walked in. And then everyone sort of like sat up and started looking out the window.
Yeah, we were all winding down for the day, and it was like, oh no, you know, these people are out there, there's no one around, we've got to get out there now and unpack everything.
Fortunately, we had a couple of young blokes who were pretty quick to their feet, and Angus, who was our key rescuer, got down there first. He was here because his mum was on patrol with us, and when I said let's go, it was everybody just thought, yeah, let's do it, let's go quickly.
And then just saw like heaps of people just started running, and Mum was like, just go, you'll be faster than them. So I just went out, got a board and just went. So as I was running down, I could sort of see there was a bunch of surfers like trying to help him. I only knew there was one person. I didn't know there was 3, because they were yelling 3 at me. I just didn't know what that meant. It was really hard because they were just in a really, really bad spot. And I saw them, and their family was just yelling at me because they were all just really panicking. As I got closer, like I sort of pulled up right next to him, and the surfers just sort of spread apart and let me get in there, and just tried to just pull this guy onto my board, just like training. He wasn't helping it, like he couldn't. He was so exhausted, and just, you could see like blue in the face, completely exhausted. So I was just trying to pull him on, just use all like the roll techniques that we get taught.
We had radios, there were some radios down on the beach, and I think someone came back up here, said, yeah, they're bad, they're not well. So I got the binoculars, came back downstairs. We were watching, observing from the area out the front.
I didn't really think it was that major until I like just found him. I found it, I didn't really think about it that much, but when I saw him in that state, sort of started to panic. But in that situation, you really can't show it because you have to calm them down as well. We were paddling, well I was, and then with this little wave just pushed us in, and I've just got him up and I've just held him. All of the people on the beach just sort of took him off me and got him, and basically just did everything while I tried to calm myself down.
If somebody's coming out of the water and they've been rescued, we kind of assume that they've taken in a lot of water. We know it's always urgent because, you know, within minutes people can drown.
After I got him in, I could see another surf lifesaver having a bit of trouble with the sister. So I grabbed my board and headed back out there, and then she just fell off the board, so I got her back onto mine and just paddled her back in, she wasn't as bad as the brother, nowhere near. She could sort of help on and hold on, which helped me so much. We
were full on in process mode, trying to keep them alive. And our job, of course, is to keep them alive until the ambulance comes.
It felt like it took forever for the ambulance to come, for them to take over. So Steve's really good at taking control of the situation, and it was really helpful that he was there to direct, all right, you could do this, you're on that, you get oxygen.
I mean, we had people up the top ringing the ambulance, and somebody else down near the gate opening up the gate for when the ambulance got there, so that it's not just what happens on the beach with the patients. Around that, there's a whole lot of other things that the team needs to do to manage that emergency situation.
He was vomiting non-stop on my board, like when I was paddling in, just regurgitating all this fluid. And then we got him onto the beach. He kept on doing it, and then he sort of like, you could see him like shaking because he was cold and stuff. So he sort of calmed him down. And when he got calm, I sort of calmed down as well, thinking like, okay, well it's pretty under control now. Just getting him on the board and paddling in, that's when it hit me. It was like, whoa, this guy could have died, and I saved him. A couple of days later, Mum received an email saying like that they're okay and how thankful they are, and that kind of like really felt good. Felt like I've done something right, which was pretty happy.
We are volunteers, and our volunteer organisation depends a great deal on donations from the public.
We can't run without funding, so uniforms, equipment, oxygen, it all costs, and it's not cheap.
You don't really think about it until you see the equipment and everything that goes on behind the scenes.
To be a volunteer surf lifesaver, people go through a training process, so all of those things cost a lot of money, and to be properly functioning, we do rely on the donations of the general public, so that we can have the resources that we need to keep people safe on the beaches.
You really don't understand until you become a surf lifesaver and you just see all the little donations that just help.